Hello, and welcome to the Doctor Evil podcast. This is the Doctor Evil fancast. I'm your host, Little Evil, and joining me this week is Emilio.
I hate Austin Powers now because of you.
Well, that's I didn't sully that for you. Nate.
I don't hate Austin Powers. It's just everything about that which I hated.
Good, perfect. We did it. So this is the official Home Button Podcast, episode 13. Woo. That is a number that is almost as high as our regular episodes number. So that's something.
It's as high as our viewer count.
It's as high as the viewership. Thank you, you guys.
2014. 2015.
2015.
There you go.
Emilio, living in the past.
There's a little bit of... Is anyone else hearing a little bit of feedback?
Nope.
Not feedback, but ah! And then I heard myself.
Anyway,
What's happening?
it's meals.
Okay.
We gotta move on.
Yes. Other than my voice doubling, we have things to talk about, such things as Star Wars Battlefront was announced with a cool trailer at the Star Wars Celebration. There's the Destiny update, well, the Destiny raid stuff, really, right? What's it called? Wolves? House of Wolves? Pack of Wolves?
No raid, just they
Oh, right,
had
no raid. Sorry.
a few things that they explained on a Twitch stream and whatnot about the next expansion.
What's the next expansion called? I forgot what it was.
House of Wolves.
House of Wolves. I was like, House of Cards, Pack of Wolves, something like that. Valve is doing some stuff, letting you sell your mods. Bloodborne update. Kerbal is getting a full launch. Here's the Storm and Mad Max. All these things and more today.
Right here today.
Right here, right now. Let's talk about Star Wars Battlefront.
Which is actually tomorrow.
Maybe. We'll see.
Star Wars Battlefront. I'm pretty hyped for it. I'm excited.
Yeah, I actually have never played any of the Battlefront games.
Not even a
little bit. So,
not even a good bad gamer.
okay. So I'm going in fresh. I'm probably gonna get this because I'm more of a fan of Star Wars than I am a fan of Battlefield, and so I'm hopefully I won't be jaded by the times that Battlefield has kind of burned me in the past. I don't know. I was talking to a bunch of people this past week who aren't really knowledgeable about games that much. They just like to play them. They're the people that buy a few games each year. Like,
Yeah, sure.
they're the ones that buy the Call of Duties and whatnot. And they're like, oh my god, did you see that trailer? It's going to look so good. And I had to explain to them that that was not gameplay. That was what Frostbite is capable of. That was basically in-engine and whatnot. And I had to explain to them that, like, probably each frame that was that cinematic trailer probably took, like, an hour to render.
Yeah.
And that is not what gameplay is going to look like in the slightest.
Yeah, of course. That's
And I just
silly and naive.
disappointed a lot of people.
Yeah. I don't know when people will.
It's probably going to look good.
Yeah, I bet it's gonna look really nice.
Oh, it's gonna look friggin' baller.
Yeah, bowler.
I said baller.
Amelia, did you ever play those games?
Yeah, I played. Let me know if I'm cutting out at all, but I played a lot of Battlefront 2 for the PlayStation 2,
Mm-hmm.
and that was one of my favorite like sleepover games back when that came out.
Yeah.
Played it a shit ton. I absolutely adore that game. The space battles were so fun, and the maps were great. So I don't know. I couldn't be more excited for this. I just want to see more from it, and I'm not really paying attention to all of the reactions that people are giving online from what they've seen so far, because nobody has seen enough of it to have an actual opinion on it. I think that
At
I
least
think
an
that
intellectual opinion.
unless they're like, unless they know they hate Star Wars and aren't get it at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, like nothing. Yeah, sorry. People can have an opinion, but
All right,
Yep.
you're
um,
gone. All right, you're back.
for people who are excited at the prospect of another Battlefront game, um, should wait longer. Oh, sorry if it's cutting out.
It's just no. It's been robot-y for the entire time you've been
Kind of
talking. Like it's
modulated.
decipherable, but it is very computery.
Yeah.
Well, just keep going.
Speaking of people on internet reacting to that, a lot of people are disappointed that there won't be any space battles. They have officially confirmed that there won't be space battles. People are actually just disappointed with the lack of content that has kind of been announced already. Like
Yeah,
there were a lot more maps and a lot more planets in Battlefront 2, and there's only like 4 planets and like 8 maps in the new Battlefront, as far as I know, if I did my research correct.
it's not surprising to me though.
And like there's no space battles, and there's a bunch of other features that were in previous Battlefront games that is not going to be in Battlefront, and people are kind of up in arms about that.
Yeah,
And I'm sure that there's plenty of other features. Oh, sorry. I'm sure that are like other features that are going to be in this game. So
Maybe, hopefully. But
Yeah.
I don't get the kind of anger towards there not being any space battles, because they did confirm that you will be able to fly a bunch of ships and still fight in the sky
Yeah.
in like dogfights,
yeah,
which is literally the exact same gameplay.
yeah. Except
I believe, right? It's
which
literally
just
just
more, which just makes it seem more interesting to me.
it's
that you like,
it's not zero G flight.
sure.
It's not like I can stop in this. I don't know. Like it could be. I don't know how the physics are going to work.
Yeah, I guess.
I think it's even more interesting because there's actually shit going down.
I do too. I couldn't agree more.
There's actually shit going down beneath you on the planet itself,
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
it's
possibly
like
interact with that as well.
I think that sounds cooler to me. I'm sure this game is going to offer a lot that the previous games couldn't.
Hmm.
Yeah, and I think people are also upset about like a lack of single player content but the thing is like that game before was just, this, big maps. It was almost like a single player Battlefield game where you just like ran around as a bunch of AI or you could play with a friend, right? And you ran around and you killed a bunch of robots and hopped in the tanks and blew up a bunch of, you know what I mean? Like it was basically just a big Battlefield game before Battlefield, or not before Battlefield, but it
The
was.
only thing that made it single player was they showed like a cutscene at the end of each like battle. Other than that, it was, um,
It was
it was
essentially
mostly
like,
multiplayer. I didn't play Battlefront 2 for single player personally.
yeah, I didn't even.
Battlefield games you never get for the single player.
Yeah.
In
And
fact, a Battlefield
that-
game, I feel like, maybe except for Bad Company, but
Yeah, Bad Company 1.
every single player probably besides that feels tacked on
yeah, and
Mhm.
so it's
and
funny that
lackluster
people
and
are
forgettable
like,
and just blah.
yeah, and so it's funny that people are like, what about like a single player thing? And it's like there wasn't really a single player thing to speak of before. Like there was
I
like a
guess they're
cutscene.
expecting more because it's not just shooter man army person, it's Star
Mhm.
Wars, so they're expecting at least a little bit of narrative in there.
Yeah,
Ah,
yeah, I guess, but it seems, I don't know, like what Emilio said, where like basically it was the same battles where you're on one of these big maps with a bunch of people and you like kill enough people and then like the map ends and
To
like
that-
then you
to that
get a
end-
cutscene.
there's or something.
What? You just cut out.
To that end, what?
Oh, sorry. I said To that end, I think there should be a bots mode or something. Something that you can
I
like an
think
offline.
yeah, I think I saw that there is gonna be that. So like that's there if you want it. you know.
People are also kind of upset that there's going to be uh, a lack of destructibility again, because I guess they were. It's basically a Battlefield game, but with Star Wars. It's Battlefront. Um, so they were
Yes, yeah.
expecting uh, destructibility, and according to the people that are making this game, DICE, they said that that isn't like core to the experience of Star Wars. Like, shit doesn't really get destroyed in Star Wars, like to the point of the necessity of battlefield destruction. And I think that is the worst cop out I have ever heard.
Yeah, that's a weird thing to say. I feel like it would be more true of them to just say like, "Hey, have you played the most recent Battlefield games? One building gets blown up,
Hey,
and the
remember
map."
that Death Star?
Yeah, but that's what
Oh
I'm
yeah,
saying. Like, if
that blew up.
are they gonna do the Levolution like they did? Because
Yeah, I was about to say Levolution.
yeah, like
I
if
don't know.
I
that's
don't
all they
know.
have right now, pretty much is like in the Battlefield, like where they're like, "What about destructibility?" It's like the past two games, it hasn't. You know what I mean? They had Levolution, which is the one building topples or something falls apart, but that's like, but you know what I mean? Where it's like their new engine clearly isn't built around it the same way that their old one was, and like I don't know, it's people being like Battlefield games are all about destructibility, and it's like not for the past two games. like they
I
have the
hate that.
one thing, but like you know what I mean? Where it's like what where were your expectations from like 4 years ago? Like, what are you talking about?
I hate that. Like Battlefield's jargon. They're made up like
Oh, like Levolution?
Levolution
Yeah, it's the worst.
bullshit is like in my vernacular now. Like
Right.
I can't do it.
I bet you they'll have that though. Like, I bet you there will be a big thing, and you
Oh
should
yeah,
hold
there's
it.
gonna be like the thing, right? Like it's gonna be like this is the
Yeah.
thing, and it happens on every level. Like,
Yeah.
which
So
will be
like,
cool, but like it's gonna be the same thing every time.
yeah, and like I don't know. I'm not as I think people. I don't know. I guess they want Battlefield to go back to that kind of stuff, but it's like if it's built in the same engine that the other ones are, which it is, then like no.
Frostbite 3, right?
Yeah.
I
So
I
like
thought on the levels that the Levolution was like the big key point of the level. I thought it worked really well. Like
yeah,
the
I think it's a cool thing. Like I'm not disparaging. I think it's a cool thing. It just yeah. I would kind of like to see the crazy destructibility like it used to be, but like until they come out with a new engine. Like the thing is, people have been whining about that for the past like few games that they've done, but until they do a new engine, you're probably not going to see unless you know what I mean. Because that kind of rework, like it's a lot of work probably to to rework the engine in that way. You know.
Speaking of whining, I think this would be a good time to, since we don't have too much time, to move on to maybe
Segway.
the
Whining about
the
what, Meals?
Valve
Oh
mods.
yeah.
Oh.
Oh yeah, the Valve mods. So Valve announced they are going to let modders sell their work through Steam, starting with Skyrim. So you can put up something like an object or a weird mod pack or something or whatever, and charge money for it.
So
I
before I go into my opinion on this, I'm kind of curious to hear your opinion as an artist, as someone who could actually create content for this.
yeah. And
It
What
like
is your
has
opinion
actually.
on
when I
this?
heard this, so like to clarify this, like my first reaction, so my artist friend who makes video games at a place posted this and was like, "This is sweet. I'm gonna go make some stuff and like get, I could actually earn some money for it because like before there just wasn't as much of a, if I'm gonna make something and not get paid, I might just make something really pretty that I'm not going to put in this game because it won't look as pretty in Skyrim. I'm going to make it and then just put it on my portfolio and you know what I mean, make it for that. So like really before like modding and stuff is a passion that people do, as they just want to
I don't
improve this
think
game.
I've ever met a community as passionate as the modder base of a lot of PC games.
Yeah, exactly. So like to really do that stuff you have to want to do it and that's great. But like this isn't gonna I think so like my first reaction and like me and like four of my artist friends saw this on his thing and we were like, "Oh, this is awesome. Like it gives us more of a reason to make stuff for these platforms," which like sorry to shatter the illusion that like not everyone has the time and energy to make free things. Like it's awesome that people do those things and it's crazy cool and like everyone's super appreciative of it, but all this means is that more people will make stuff for it and they might charge money. But
And yeah, and that's the thing. That's the key part is they might charge money. That doesn't mean everything's gonna be paid for now. Like you
yeah.
know, there's still gonna be free mods, and there's still gonna be people that maybe I don't know. Like it's I don't think it's that big of a deal. I don't personally. I'm not gonna pay for any mods because I don't
Yeah.
really mod
I
games that
think it,
often.
Yeah, and
I
that's the
think
thing. Like that opinion is not like just you. A lot of people wouldn't want to pay for a mod, so it's kind of like there was this huge race to the bottom on iOS, and like if people think that something's gonna happen where all mods are gonna cost $1 or $5 now, if you look at like other platforms, like every all software and just like down things that you can purchase or download, there is a huge race to the bottom constantly. And if like if you don't see that, like there's still going to be the people who just want to get their name out there and put out this cool mod for free and share it with the community. So like nothing is going to get super expensive. Like I don't know, it just seems like
but it
people
could, and that's
I
what
think
people
this
are
I
afraid
think this
of.
opens up a
I just
I think it opens up a lot of great doors.
yeah, like I
I
don't know.
honestly think I think that well, okay. I don't know. Like there's a younger person out there that may not have access to um I don't know how to explain it, but like, become like an up and comer, and even in the industry through this. Oh, sorry if my voice is screwing up,
A little bit.
but
No, but
like a lot like this could do a lot for people with a little, you know.
yeah, right. Whereas someone that's the thing too is someone can if you're like a high school student or like just in college starting out and you just make a few free things and you're like, "Oh, I'm getting better at this. People want to see my stuff." Then like the next time you make a cool sword for Skyrim, you're like, "Hey, I keep making this stuff and like if I just do this and not have a part-time job and just sell my sword for $1, like, you know what I mean?" So like it's more incentive for people to make things regularly because then they don't have to like people have lives like they have jobs in school and like everybody has all the responsibilities, right? So it's like it's just more of a reason to want to make things.
Hmm.
Like I don't know, it just I can't see anything getting crazy stupid expensive and like if
I
it
totally can.
the market will not support it, like it just won't.
Like a lot of it, it'll be. I can see it getting super expensive. Whether people will buy it or not is the actual question.
Yeah,
But
but
while you guys are focusing on the people that would make the mods, I kind of, I'm kind of curious about the people that use the mods, the user base. I feel like this kind of splits the user base into people who are willing to pay for mods and not. Like, because the point about mods, especially Steam Workshop, is its accessibility. Like, if you wanted a mod, you could pretty much use one with the click of a button if it's Steam Workshop accessible. That's what made Skyrim like the PC game to mod. That's why they're starting off with it. Like, and the I guess the community is just. I feel like it would split with this.
I know people. I know people that only play Skyrim,
Yeah.
and all the only reason they keep playing it is because they can keep modding it.
Hmm. It's what's keeping it relevant, to be honest. It's 4 years old at this point, and still probably one of the most played games on Steam.
It is still one of the most. It has. It
Yeah.
consistently holds. I think like 35. What is it? 35,000 concurrent players.
Hmm.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
35,000? More than that. Gotta be more than
300.
that.
Sorry, 300 something thousand.
Oh.
I'm pretty sure. Like concurrent.
Hmm. And like I dabbled with installing mods on Skyrim, and I played for uh, a good few hours on that, and by few, probably around like 30. Um, and I really really liked that I could just install things and see how my game changed both visually and mechanically, and that is especially what I love about modding.
Nate,
Um,
just to go back, it's about 35,000 concurrent players on Steam
oh,
at any given time.
Yeah, I mean, I
That
thought
is still top. That is
350,000. I was like, that's
that is still top 10. I'm pretty sure.
no, yeah, that's still really high for yeah.
but yeah, I with these mods I was able to make my game pretty much exactly how I wanted to play it, changing like UI elements, visual elements, and all that kind of stuff. Or just being super goofy and just installing Thomas the Tank Engine dragons. Like
God,
that's all available, and it was all available for free. And what I'm worried about is wanting something that I feel like could change my gameplay experience in a way that I would totally want, and it costing money now, it being behind a gate. And while I'm sure the person behind, I'm sure, hold on, Matt. I'm sure the person behind that gate
I have a great joke.
is more than deserving of a couple dollars. It's such a deterrent, even if it's just a couple dollars now, from me buying and using that mod. I would much rather get a mod for free that may be a little less graphically pretty than the one that costs money. And that is from someone who uses mods. That's my perspective.
Would you say that this gate is a gamer gate?
I hate you.
wait.
Milady.
So,
Oh my god.
I don't know if we talked about it yet, but because GTA has
Ooh, a response. Can I respond to it?
well, no, I'm not moving
You
on.
wanna go to- oh, okay.
This is my response.
Well, we're going to talk about GTA mods after this.
Give me a second.
Okay.
Because Steam has started this system of paid mods. GTA was probably one of the higher selling games, or probably the highest selling game this month, definitely on Steam.
Mm-hmm.
And they know that the big thing that they want is, or that people are going to want in GTA is mods, but they're not.
Yeah.
Is mods available yet? Do you think that this is what the direction they're going to go with it? This pay or choose not to pay system for mods for GTA 5, because that's.
I think if it's
like,
in Steam, it's whenever it gets added, whenever like this new paid support.
Well, but the support doesn't have to be through Steam Workshop necessarily.
Then it won't be through Steam.
I'm just saying. Well, like GTA 4 was on Steam and was moddable before it had. Does it even have Workshop support?
I don't think so.
Okay, so
GTA 4 is one of the more difficult games to mod.
Yeah, because it's not like
going like.
I mean, difficult. You can still like, easily do it.
If you know what you're doing, it's
It's
fine.
not just like hitting the install button.
From someone who may game on a PC, I dare say it casually, like a person like that would not know what to do.
I think that I'm just saying that like with the metric fuck ton of mods that are out there for GTA 4, if somebody wanted them, they could get them very easily. And the mod community for that game was at least huge.
Still is.
Still is, yeah. So if they implement Workshop support in with Valve, this is going to be like the thing. Like this is going to be I feel like this is the thing.
And we'll touch on that in like a couple minutes when we go back to GTA. But Matt, you had a response to what I had.
So, I don't know, the main concern is that, like, I want to change the, like, I get it, like, I played Skyrim for, like, 10 hours, I don't really care for it, but, like, I was like, oh, there's mods for this, so, like, I installed a bunch of goofy things, like, I had My Little Pony horses, and, like, a bunch of other dumb shit, like, in there, just for shits and gigs, and, like, that's fine, and, like, I think that stuff is great. I think
I'll just ignore the fact that you put My Little Pony
it was hilarious
in Skyrim, but
you could also do like the horses super fast thing. So I basically was like fucking speeding across the land on My Little Ponies. like just like oh, I'm here now. But
What was
so
your point?
I don't see free mods going away because of this,
No,
because
I don't think they will go away. It's just the fact.
there could be a barrier, but like that exists kind of every, like I get where that wasn't so much, that wasn't on the PC platform for mods. There wasn't an easy way to sell your mod unless you were like making an actual full revamp, like pretty much what like Chivalry was a huge like was it a Half-Life mod? It was some big mod of a game that like they sold, and then like they actually made their whole new thing and separate and like sold that, right? But like what's the other game? There was the shooty game that's now getting an actual sequel that's was not based off a mod. Um,
Shooty game.
There's
Getting
a
a
lot of
sequel.
shooty games.
it has the crazy like gore stuff where like you shoot off dudes'
Killing
heads.
Floor.
Yeah, Killing Floor. Like that was also like a paid. Like they basically like modded Half-Life 2 and released that as their own thing.
Hmm.
So, but like there wasn't
But
before.
the difference with those, I feel like, are those are full games.
Oh yeah, they're complete like that's what I'm saying. So like that was really the only
And
way
the
to get
thing that
paid. That was really the only way though to get paid for your big mod work if you were doing that was to do a huge full revamp, because otherwise like why, like who was gonna pay for that? And like I think that mentality is gonna stay around, especially because like if you look at like just like the App Store, or like, well, you have iPhone so you don't get this, but like I can download different icons for my phone, for my Android phone, and there's like a million free icon packs and like some few paid ones. But generally, the paid ones look better and they update faster, so they have all the icons actually have this theme that you like download, because it's not like a free thing and the person's getting paid for it, right? So
Right.
they have more initiative to keep like adding stuff or whatever.
Oh well, and that's also like look at the PlayStation themes. I mean they're pretty much in my opinion all god hot garbage.
Yes.
Except for like three of them, and one of those is free, and then two of those are paid. So
Yeah. So like
the-
I people will still definitely keep making the free mods, and like there might be that barrier to like the more refined thing, and I think it's just gonna be up to the consumer. Like I don't think it could hurt the workshop in any way to be able to pay people to like make better stuff.
I'm worried that the modding community, as in the people that make the mods, are going to be like, well, if I can make a buck, why not? I'll release
Some
this.
people like aren't good enough. Like you're gonna see their work. Like that's the thing, is like that might not be your first thought as a consumer. Like the first thought is like they want to make money, which is obvious. But like when you're first starting out making stuff, like if you put it up there and you're charging $3 and your mod is shitty, someone's gonna pay for it and download it and be like, this is a pile of horse garbage. And then like they'll rate your thing super poorly and be like, this is a pile of horse garbage and here's why, and then no one else will buy it. As opposed to if it's free, then a ton of people download it and they could tell you why it's hot garbage, and then you know what I mean? Where like if you put out crap and try to charge for it, people generally get mad at you.
Mm-hmm.
They generally get super pissy. So like it it is like it is, you know what I mean? It's like a good and a bad thing where it's like, oh yeah, like I can earn money for this, but it's like if it doesn't work, or like, you know, like if there's something wrong with it, someone also gave you money for that and now they're mad at you. You know, and
There's
probably
nothing worse than paying for something, not realizing what you bought wasn't what you thought it was.
right.
And
So
I think that's one of the most, like, people will leave a review if they don't like it. It's usually that case. If they do like it, they probably maybe will leave a good review, probably won't say anything. If it's bad, you will hear about it.
yeah, so
I
like
am I'm also really happy because this kind of goes hand in hand with Valve's update recently, where they were talking about gating people's accounts to.
what was it?
Shut
Okay.
up. Jesus.
What'd you say?
It's dead. Let it die.
What'd you say?
What?
Gamer game.
No, oh my god, Matt, I'm actually just trying to talk. Like, I thought my mic was shitting out.
No.
No, okay. Age gating.
No, no, not
Not
age
age
No,
gating.
it's the
gating.
money.
Pay
Yeah,
getting
$5.
accounts to $5.
That's a great thing.
Well, it's really good because the modding community is can be like I feel like because it's gonna be a lot more
Just hold on for a second.
people who make Oda.
All right, try again.
That
Try again.
people will want to make money the best way
Amelia,
will allow it. So,
can you
never
hear us?
mind. I can hear you.
All right, just do it again.
Mm. Just move on. Just move on, please.
Okay, I guess let's go back to GTA 5 mods and how that's going right now. Oh, poor Meal. He's got his head in his hands.
Are you excited to come back to America?
I fucking hate Irish internet. I absolutely hate it.
Is it garbage everywhere, or is it just that dorm building?
It's literally always garbage in this country. They got great people, great food. Fuck the internet here.
Which is funny because I heard they had a tech boom. I heard they
Yeah, apparently it was a tech fucking like I don't know, cherry bomb.
a tech shart.
GTA 5 mods.
All I was saying that was that pay gating accounts would allow people to not be as you botting their stuff.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
That's true, actually. Because then you couldn't have, like, a bunch of, whatever, like, weird downloads on your thing, or...
It, like, doesn't
reviews
let
on
you
your
post
thing.
reviews, it doesn't let you send friend requests and stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah,
So, yeah.
next topic. Grand Theft Auto 5 and mods right now are kind of in a weird place because with GTA 5, everything is encrypted. So this sends the message that Rockstar is very against modding the base game that is Grand Theft Auto 5. But what happened recently is that people, I'm trying to, what is it? There was something I read on fucking Reddit, and I don't remember it. But there are mods for Grand Theft Auto 5 that are trickling out right now. And they're visual mods. They don't really change any of the base gameplay.
Sure.
And I think those are okay in Rockstar's book. Like, you can install like one of these mods that changes the saturation in Grand Theft Auto 5, and then that makes it a little bit prettier because the base game's kind of, the colors aren't as
Bleak. A little bit more bleak.
yeah. And like it's this weird thing because at least in GTA Online, mods would be a really bad idea because it's an online play space and you want as equal of a playing field as possible, and mods don't allow that. But I don't think they should have that attitude towards the single player experience.
Well,
And that's kind of everything is encrypted in Grand Theft Auto, so people have to kind of climb this wall in order to mod Grand Theft Auto 5. And I was just curious as to what you guys think about that.
I mean, if they want to kill their community like that, then I guess that's their prerogative. I don't know. That's kind of like Nintendo being like, can't do videos without paying us. If you're getting paid, you got to pay us. Where it's kind of like, if you want to stifle your online community, go for it. You know, where like it doesn't make sense to us, and even like as someone who wants to make games and makes art for games, doesn't make sense to me. Or like anyone like my friends who make games and are in the industry who were like that, like, you know what I mean? They don't understand the Nintendo stuff, or you know what I mean? Like, it's all all these decisions are generally made by like businessmen who see like I feel like a huge like I wonder if
There are precedents nowadays that I
yeah
I feel like publishers might push on developers, so
yeah
things like mods would not work.
yeah I feel like I wonder if they saw the like I wonder if the publishers like is Rockstar they publish their own thing, right?
Rockstar self-publishes,
Yeah.
yes,
I wonder if they look at the
but
at
I
GTA
think
4 and its mod life and are like, we could have gotten more money if we released like like if they released more DLC, like because they did release DLC for it, and I'm sure it did like fine and pretty good and earned the money. But I bet you if they saw modding as like, well, kids are getting all this free content for our game, and like we can earn money from providing more like they're making they're making DLC for GTA 5, right? Like as we speak probably. And so I wonder if they're seeing like like all these mods and things you can do to it as like, well, I can do all this free stuff. Why would I pay for your thing?
it's
Even though they're not
competition.
real. Yeah, it's like competition. Even though it's not like the same thing as like a big story DLC compared to like goofy mod stuff, they still see this competition in where you're spending their time with their game, where they're like,
Yeah.
oh, if you have all this free fun, then you're not gonna pay for our fun.
I
Or
don't
something.
think, yeah, but at the same time, I don't think a mod can deliver the experience
Exactly.
that
Yeah.
The Lost and the Damned or the Ballad of Gay Tony can provide.
Yeah. Like I
New
completely agree.
expansions or DLCs from Grand Theft Auto 4.
Yeah, I agree with that. But I wonder if that's what how
And
they
a
see
small
it.
correction: Rockstar is under the umbrella of Take-Two Interactive.
Oh, okay. All
They,
right.
they, Rockstar is still a publisher and a developer. It's just the publisher Rockstar is also under the mega publisher Take-Two,
Got you.
which also owns 2K.
2K. I mean, like, what do you think that's weird that they're? I don't know. Do you have any weird thoughts about that? About the GTA mod not wanting them?
Not, not really. I never modded. I only modded GTA once.
Yeah,
So
and it sucks for people. Just bringing it back to a personal level. I pretty much waited for Grand Theft Auto 5 to come out on PC for a year. I didn't buy it on Xbox One for the sole reason that I knew it would be a little bit prettier and run a little bit better on my PC. And probably half the reason I bought it on my PC was the perception that I was going to be able to further mod the game because of what happened with Grand Theft Auto 4. I wanted that experience, but with a newer, better Grand Theft Auto, and I feel like I'm not. That's being taken away from me as a consumer,
Yeah.
and I'm not happy about that. But going back to what I said before about that thing I saw on Reddit, is that uh, it a script hook has been released, and for those that don't know what a script hook is, like me, it is basically because the Grand Theft Auto files are so locked down and being encrypted, it's really hard to mod anything into the game without replacing something pre-existing. For example, cars or textures. But what this script hook does is allows you to add extra functions to the game, and this opens the door for modding in Grand Theft Auto a huge amount. And it also comes with a detailed trainer built in, quoting something from Reddit right there. So I guess like I
what's
also
that
heard
guy's username? He's you what? We got it. We got to credit him.
you random Hypnotica,
Perfect. Thanks
Good.
you.
Good name.
and he was basically what no, and like I said, I heard this analogy from another place, but Rockstar is building this huge wall, but it only just means that the modders will just build a bigger ladder. Like, they will find a way to mod your
Yeah.
game. It will always happen. It is inevitable.
Yeah.
It's the same thing with piracy. Like, You can put as much DRM in your game as you want. Pirates will find a way. Modders will find a way.
If the developers can tweak the game files, then somebody who knows how to get it, like knows how to get into the game files, will figure out how.
People will spend, developers will spend months implementing DRM or putting shit that's encrypted in your game, and modders will spend hours or days to break that encryption or wall.
Yeah, I mean, what it comes down to
It's
is like
super quick what happens like this. It has Grand Theft Auto has been out about a week now on PC, and you already see these things like the script hook that basically opens up Grand Theft Auto. It's just implementing those mods is just going to be difficult to the average PC gamer.
Yeah.
It's funny because I wonder. I bet you like I don't know, like the engineers, like the programmers who have to do that stuff. Like they're like there is not any foolproof way to keep them out of your stuff. Like it's like you know what I mean. Like programming and engineering is you know what I mean. Where like there isn't some magical recipe that like another programmer couldn't. You know what I mean? Like, couldn't do the back step through, right? Couldn't see.
If people are passionate enough, they will break open your thing. Like, and that's the thing. The people that do this, the people that try and mod games like Grand Theft Auto, they are the most passionate players. They are the ones that love your game so much, they want to add a whole new experience to it that other people may enjoy. That's what these modders represent, I feel like.
Yeah.
And just a lot of this was just a big fuck you to the people that love the game the most.
Yeah. It's
and
weird.
That's kind of what I have to say about that.
Yeah, I think that our topic can be covered really quickly. I would like a couple other small things we can mention, but
there's a couple other small things that we can mention.
I
that
just
are
wanted to
slightly
bring
off
up the
topic.
Destiny stuff.
Destiny stuff, Meal says, for those who did not understand him.
I often have a hard time understanding Emilio. With his thick Connecticut accent, which is very real, and if they say it's not, it is.
So Bungie just had a Twitch stream that nearly 150,000 people tuned into. I think it was yesterday. Yesterday, as in Wednesday, 22nd. About explaining a few things that the House of Wolves expansion that is coming out in May 19th, I believe. A couple things in the House of Wolves expansion is going to add to Destiny. And it is quite a lot, actually. People are very, very, very excited. Basically, Yep. They
I
are.
was going to say it's much more proper expansion this time around.
Yes. They are implementing a lot of fixes. They are adding a lot of things that people have been asking for. What this expansion shows is that they're actively listening to the community now.
Except there's not a raid.
But
that's like the only thing. Like everything else is like aces, and like the thing was before they had like in some promotional material that it did say like the House of Wolves thing would come with a raid.
Yeah, and we discussed that last podcast.
Yeah.
But instead of a raid, they're replacing it with two things, which is Trials of Osiris endgame PvP content and Prison of Elders endgame PvE content. Basically, arena multiplayer, meaning speculation here. It's going to be like Horde mode. That's what people are thinking Prison of Elders is going to be. And if they can do Prison of Elders right, I think the disappointment in there being no raid will be okay.
Yeah, I honestly think it'll. I'm like upset that there's not another raid, but I'm sure this is probably gonna fill that space in terms of like
I'm not
fun
sure.
stuff to. Yeah.
I'm not sure, but I'm. It's hard to be optimistic because I was optimistic on the Dark Below, and that kind of turned me off of Destiny. Like
Yeah.
it was fun for a little while, and then it just didn't add what I wanted it to add to Destiny to keep me playing.
Yeah, and also apparently like an invalidated like before that came out, a lot of the gear that you had grinded so much for just completely became
Almost all of the gear that I spent hours upon hours getting in the Vault of Glass was just null. It was void.
It was garbage, yeah. So that's, I mean, but also with this one, they're like, we know that we did bad with that, so we're not going to do that.
And they're learning, and they're changing, and they're making a lot of the gear that was turned useless with the last update, or the last expansion. They're giving the option to upgrade that into the tier that all of the new weapons and armor will be. Like, it will be the same power, it'll be the same level, it'll be the same armor
what does
set.
Scouter say about his power level, though?
This expansion, I feel like, could
Is it over
be
9,000?
over 9,000.
Okay, very good. Yes, perfect.
If they,
and I
Oh, you're just an internet
No,
ghost,
go ahead.
Emilio. You're just an internet ghost.
stopping my sentences because I was letting it go.
Oh, I'm sorry.
if they actually do this right, then I will have faith in Destiny again, because I have lost it. I haven't played it for months. I keep on saying it. I want a reason to go back, because I did enjoy it.
If you had friends, you'd have a reason to go back. You don't have friends.
Don't have friends that
Xbox
play it
One.
on the Xbox One.
That's right.
Regularly.
That's why kiddies go out
I
and buy
think
a
House of
PS4
Wolves-
today.
I think House of Wolves is going to be a reason to go back to Destiny.
Well, I'm going to go back to Destiny once it releases, because I got the limited edition, so I have the season pass. But will it make me stay on Destiny is the question.
Yeah, and that's a question we can answer as more stuff gets revealed over time, because we are actually running out of time for this week's podcast.
Yes.
That's right.
Yeah, let me throw out some quick things before we end that we.
Real quick.
So really quick, Bloodborne patch makes loading faster, and it gives you weird little information cards in the loading screen. That's
Thank
something.
God, because that was
lightning
a lot of
round.
people's only
Lightning
gripe about that game.
Yeah,
So-
pretty much it was like, great game. Also the loading times, what's up with that? So yeah, that's good. It's Kerbal Space Program is getting its full 1.0 launch this coming week, and it's adding female Kerbals to that 1.0 update.
Cool. Probably one of the most popular early access games ever. So I'm glad that the developers have finally found the time and to actually release it. Good for them.
Yeah, great stuff. I think everybody's kind of like, there's like no bad feelings about that game. I've never heard anybody be like, but fuck those Kerbal guys.
The community is so passionate about the community in Kerbal Space Program is really, really good. Okay,
Yeah,
next.
it's like a love story of nerds. And Heroes of the Storm, Blizzard's MOBA, is getting a full launch on June 2nd. I think they're coming to open beta soon, actually, but they're getting a full launch on June 2nd, which I'm really excited about because for a while, like, it's been my main MOBA for the past few months. It just has been 20-minute matches instead of 60 minutes, has pretty much pulled me away from Dota 2. I really want to see pro play with it, and there have been tournaments and stuff, but nothing big or real, you know. I really want to see, because once it gets into full launch, you're actually going to see some real pro play and some real tournaments behind it. Yeah. That's it. Is there anything else?
That's it.
That's it.
That's it.
All right, bring us home, Matt.
I'll
Take it
bring
home.
you. Take me home tonight. This was the Home Button Podcast. This was the 13th episode of the Home Button Podcast. If you like this video, like, comment, subscribe. Down over there, the places. I'm on YouTube. Do all that stuff.
Where can they follow us?
You can follow us at Twitch and Twitter at Home Button Cast. and our Facebook and YouTube, our Home Button Official. Subscribe to those places, please. Just subscribe to our YouTube. Why doesn't anyone subscribe on YouTube?
It's getting to the point where the end of the semester is upon us. So in about a week or two, we are going to be able to put up a lot more content frequently.
Hopefully.
We hope.
I'm getting some recording software or hardware for myself for the summer as well, so I'm happy about that.
So hopefully over the summer we can release a little bit more content. So we're excited about that. Yeah.
All right, yeah, send it off to Matt.
Jean-Luc, no, I'm Jean-Luc Seipke. This is my creepy doll with the head removed.
just Bennett.
He has that. It's scary. All right, so yeah. Go subscribe to those places. You can follow me at Matt_Klink. You can follow Nate at Nate Lubeski. You can follow Emilio at Emilio Fornatora. This has been the 13th episode of Home Button Podcast. Thank you very much for watching. Join us next week. Bye!
Bye.
Bye.